Okay, so we're going to talk about the Great Depression and the extent to which the Great Depression was caused by laissez-faire policies. So remember, laissez-faire is this philosophy where the government lets business kind of do what they want. It's a hands-off policy. And during the 1920s, you had three Republican presidents, Harding, Coolidge, and Hoover, that all were laissez-faire presidents. They all kind of had that philosophy of not regulating business, and that was kind of being associated with the Republican Party. So, how much did those policies contribute to the Great Depression? Well, there were some government policies that backfired. One of which was definitely laissez-faire, which is this cut in taxes by the Secretary of the Treasury, Andrew Mellon. And the idea was that if you cut taxes, the people that save some money, and that money would then be used to invest in companies and businesses and create jobs. What actually happened is that money got put into the stock market and kind of pushed stock prices higher artificially. That created the bubble that popped in the 1929 stock market crash. We also have high tariffs. So this is an attempt to protect American businesses. So tariffs are taxes on imported goods. Well, when America put taxes on imported goods, Europe does the same thing. You have kind of a trade war. And so actually there's less trade happening, which makes the economy slow down a little bit. Finally, we have the Federal Reserve. Remember, the Federal Reserve was set up during the Wilson administration. This is a progressive reform to kind of stabilize the economy so you didn't have these panics and things that happened like every 20 years or so. So the Federal Reserve, they raised interest rates as a way to kind of create less money available so that it would create some inflation. And that kind of backfired and ended up hurting the economy. But at the same time, you had this lack of consumers, right? Because you had there was less construction, car sales. You had, just people were kind of maxed out with their buying on credit and that sort of thing. So you had low food prices. The farmers were in debt, so they had less money available to contribute to the economy. This is a common theme we've seen with the farmers. Think about the populist movement before. And there was this high poverty rate. Basically, the amount of money people were making was not enough to support their lifestyle. So people resorted to buying on credit, essentially borrowing money to pay for things. And that is not sustainable. It's not going to last because eventually you're not going to be able to pay back what you have borrowed. The last one is kind of high international debts. So there were things that were happening internationally, which one of the things that made the Great Depression go global. So the German reparation payments that they owed for the Treaty of Versailles, Germany was unable to pay them. And so that was not helping in Germany. So you had that. They created inflation because they kept printing more and more money. And then the European allies that the United States had fought with, like Britain and France, for example, they were unable to pay back their World War I loans because they weren't getting money from Germany, essentially. So the United States was kind of hurting in that sense as well. So all three of these things kind of contributed to the Great Depression. I mean, of these three, you have to figure out which of these was the most important for creating the Great Depression.